Dear friends, in our series of talks about who wrote the Bible, we are now with Prophet Isaiah. And before I talk about the particular passage, I want to bring you this piece of clay and show you how cuneiform text was written. That ball of clay is slowly changing into a small tablet, and I will use my stylus to roll it to give it a nice smooth surface. That's most likely what they used to do back then. And we will write on it using the stylus and impressing it into clay. I will call those individual letters with their Hebrew names. We don't know how they pronounce those letters in Ugaritic. I will be writing in cuneiform writing from city of Ugarit. So we start with He, Lamed, Gayin, which is almost like an Hebrew ayin, Lamed, Mem, and Taf. And we start with Taf again, Lamed, Dalet now. There are a lot of impressions for Dalet. Bet. And Nun. And here we go. That's a sentence from cuneiform text from Ugarit. Abbreviation is usually used KTU, that's a critical edition, 124. And it is part of a myth about the wedding of Nikal and Ib. It is also called sometimes as an Nikal and Kosherat. And the text here reads, look or lo, the sacred bride or princess will bear the son. And you can immediately recognize a passage from Prophet Isaiah 7:14. Look, the young woman is with a child and shall bear a son. And this Galmat is an equivalent to Alma in Hebrew, and it sounds similar. It is composed of same consonants, and it simply means a young woman or a princess. There originally might have been some kind of an religious dimension to that name or to that function, to that word. In Semitic languages, it was simply a name for a young woman who hasn't given birth yet. There is also a Latin name for it, which goes like this, nullipara, which means that hasn't given birth yet. That's as simple as that. When a Hebrew text from Isaiah was translated to Greek in the Septuagint and then taken over by Christians in Gospel of Matthew, this Alma, young woman who hasn't given birth yet, was translated into Parthenos, which is virgin. And that is the origin of all that dogma about virginal birth and so on. But originally it was young princess who hasn't given birth yet. And that is a piece of quotation of text from something like 1200 before Common Era. So hundreds of years before Isaiah and more than 1,000 years before New Testament, 1,200 years older than that. And here you have a piece of gospel written in cuneiform in clay, and that is something you might not know about the Bible.